The next item on our agenda is the Executive Director's update. Sandy, do you have any remarks for us?
Yes, thank you, Tom. For headcount, we have open positions of 5 today with 3 new hires beginning in the next few weeks and interviews beginning for a member services position, which is going to be filled in the next few weeks, which prospectively leaves us with 1 open headcount. Turnover has seemed to moderate recently. I'd like to congratulate Michelle Pyram, Tanae Williams, and the leadership team and human resources teams who have done a great job managing through this period. I think we are probably outperforming many of the agencies in the city. They've done a great job for us. A little bit of a longer velocity project update today. We're actually moving our velocity project under quality assurance management and disbanding part of it. It's because have had significant successes in rollouts. We've completed all the major rollouts pertaining to the velocity project, upgraded to Amazon Web Services, deployed many improvements to existing functionality in the CPMS system, implemented product enhancements and that will benefit membership and BERS staff. Since the completion of the rollouts, BERS has deployed 6 post-go live delivery builds, which include interim processing, PPMS exports, Chapter 56 updates, launched a campaign center, which easily allows BERS to connect with the members via email, secure message, and SMS, in addition to 100 or more product enhancements. Notably, each build was delivered on time, and we stayed within the expected budget. Post-go live delivery builds remain. The upcoming project deliveries include fiscal year 23 build improvements such as accounting reports, member self-service improvements. The accounting reports will significantly decrease the manual effort required by our accounting and data teams for monthly reconciliation and annual auditing requests. BERS is working with IT security also on reopening member self-service loan application widgets and launching the member self-service QPP TDA refunds widget. These widgets will offer our membership convenient alternatives to apply for funds with a limited secure disbursement option. A full reopening of member self-service with identity access management tools has been paused until BERS completes the RFP process for identity confirmation services. In the interim, in-person enrollment in member self-service is a requirement either at our counselors' offices or at meetings we've been organizing around the city in major schools or union locations. For fiscal year 24, we plan to continue our momentum and deliver at least 4 post-go live delivery builds to correct bugs and enhance the core administrative applications. In terms of the risk profile of the system, BERS has successfully onboarded Shams Ahmed as Deputy Director of Information Security. After detailed discussions, BERS will be reopening 3 transactional member self-service widgets, loans, QPP refunds, and TDA refunds, which will, with certain disbursement limitations, we will be allowing disbursement only to pre-existing account ETFs or check delivery locations. The risk level is low. The Velocity Project managers, Aris Lady Moran and Jessica Samuels, and their team are to be commended for excellent work, keeping the project on schedule and under budget. Counseling activity has picked up significantly. Our counselors have settled into their new office space on the first floor at 65 Court Street. Each counselor is managing 3 to 4 scheduled appointments each day and walk-ins, which are increasing. So counselors are seeing between scheduled and unscheduled appointments 7 to 8 people each day. Counseling appointments are scheduled out to December 2023 for general meetings, which tells you the people are surging to our counselors. And for urgent appointments, which are for members retiring within the next 90 days, we are scheduled up to May 2023. We've continued to onboard new trustees. Welcome to all of you. And Karen Wong will be reaching out to those trustees that have not had the onboarding experience related to BERS generally and investments specifically. Please watch for Karen's emails. We'd like to get an onboarding session with all the trustees who have not experienced it. Tonight's meeting is largely focused on investment strategy. We'll be asking for approval of the authority of the controller to invest and execute instructions given via resolutions of trustees. We will seek approval to conduct the asset allocation analysis, which we implement with detailed liability and cash flow analysis. We will seek approval for the net zero plan implementation, and Antonio will provide an overview of the history and activities of BERS Investment Strategy Department. We'll also be asking for an alternative member of the audit committee. Please volunteer if you're interested. This is a very important part of the BERS overall program of system and operational improvements. And finally, well, not finally, Merrick Tiskowitz will be reviewing the actuarial preliminary fiscal 2024 contribution, which will be updated later this year. And then finally, for educational opportunities, I want to thank the trustees that attended the Markets Group event last week. I hope you got some value from the attendance. Just to let you know that Antonio and I were both members of the presentation materials that were offered. And Cohen & Millstream, a law firm, will facilitate 2 sessions on fiduciary training for trustees and staff. On April 3rd, from 1 to 2:30 p.m. will be an in-person session at 55 Water Street for BERS staff. Trustees are welcome to that also. On April 3rd, from 4 p.m. to 5:30, there'll be a virtual session for our trustees. Calendar invites have been distributed, and we'll be following up on attendance and reminding folks of these events. And then finally, May 20th to 21st, National Conference of Public Employee Retirement Systems University is offering the Trustee Educational Seminar and the NYCBERS Accredited Fiduciary Program in conjunction with their annual conference and expo. For any trustees who are interested in attending, recall that BERS will cover any costs related to these opportunities, and it can assist in organizing participation. And that's all from me tonight, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. I do want to say, just for the record, Dr. Salas Ramirez is here. I do have one question for you, Sandy.
Yes.
I'm wondering, we were talking about the self-service portal, right? And I'm wondering where are we in the the RFP process, right? Because it was turned off for a reason, right? And I know we took some steps to make affected members whole, right? But we also turned it off so that we can prevent these kinds of breaches until we were able to put a system in place to verify the identity of those logging in. So I'm really interested in knowing where are we in that process, because our members do use loan services and such at higher rates than the other systems, and to have this system offline does create a barrier for our members. So I'm just wondering, where are we in that process?
Yep, just to inform trustees who were not involved in the board prior, when we initially opened up the member self-service portal, we experienced a cyber event where retirees generally who had their PII existing in the world were imitated by criminals who set up member self-service applications and then adjusted the distribution of monies to the wrong people. This was caught mostly because of the sensitivities of our payments being crucial to our retirees. MSS was shut down. We referred the matter both to cybersecurity in New York City, the FBI, and New York City detectives. We have not heard recently about activities there. But in the interim, since that event, we have only activated member self-service for people we can physically identify. So they have to be present in front of a counselor or present in front of an MCU representative when they get their accounts activated, which is basically any new members who visit counseling or members that can show up at, say, a Tweed event, which we had a number of months ago, to get their member self-service activated. We operate for anyone with an effective member self-service activation. They can apply for these transactions online. We still operate with paper documents, which are available online in PDF form, and they can deliver to us via mail or physically. So we haven't shut off their ability to get loans, but it is more difficult to do the paper process. We hope to have MSS uh, implement a specific ID confirmation rubric for the machine level. This is likely to be something like ID.me. ID.me is a third-party provided ID confirmation service currently operating for the Social Security, for the unemployment office in New York City, for the IRS. I actually have experienced it myself. It's not all that extreme. We have to go through the procurement process, though. This is a procurement where the RFP has not been issued yet. We've only recently onboarded Shams Ahmed, our cybersecurity effort. It may have taken us 2 years. I don't know exactly the amount of time it took to get Shams onboarded. I can tell you that I interviewed 3 or 4 people myself, and we made the job offer to one person who rejected it, to a second person who showed up for 4 hours and then left. And Shams has been on staff now for about a month and a half, and it's on his desk to execute. Um, I don't know if that's comprehensive enough for you, Tom, but
No, it
you know,
is.
we're
Thank you. And
hopeful we're hopeful to have it activated December 2023, and that sounds like a long time, but we have to run through the procurement process.
no, fair. Thank you. I see Tazine's hand up.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chair. My question is referring to the bid that you mentioned about counseling. So I've received some correspondence indicating members having difficulties in retaining a counseling appointment at a timely manner. And you just mentioned how that process has been improved. So if you could elaborate on how much better the response to counseling request is as compared to prior, I would love to hear that part.
Well, we are trying to implement as much virtual counseling as we can in order to facilitate that. The reality is we don't have the staff to handle much more than the flow we're managing now. What we do expect is surges. The surge comes at the end of the summer before the school year begins. So we will see a surge there. And we're managing it as best we can. There is a growing number of walk-ins, and we accommodate them as they come in. We still have issues related to staffing. We have significant wait times at the call center, and we have clearly some wait times at counseling for people who want to have interim counseling efforts. We are prioritizing people who have expected retirements in the next 90 days, and we will always prioritize those relationships. So for someone who is retiring near term, they get in the door first.
And a quick follow-up, Chair. Are the members sort of told of the predicament that we are all facing because of the lack of staffing? I wonder if they have the complete understanding of how that backlogs or slows down the timeline.
Yeah, we post the scheduling on our website. They can schedule through the website, and we talk about it all the time. Unfortunately, like most consumers of a product, frustration is hard to avoid on their part, and we're sensitive to it. We try to respond as best we can, and when there are, emergencies, we will make time and we'll respond as best we can. The team led by Maria Seppin and Dallas Childs have actually done an excellent job. I think for people who actually get through and have conversations with our counselors, we get very good marks. It is where we get delays, causes frustration on members' parts, and it's, they're not wrong. It's just difficult to do much more than we can do.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Tezzy.
Thank you. I will add one more thing. Just I want to add to something that Sandy mentioned when we were talking about the NCBERS conference. I had an opportunity. I think there are a few members here or a few trustees here who have had that opportunity. And the TEDS conference or the TEDS seminars were really good also. So I would also and certainly co-sign what Sandy said about the usefulness of that training in our roles as trustees. So definitely reach out. And if you haven't already signed up and are interested, please sign up and attend the conference. I think it's in New Orleans this year, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom.